Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bunniichii podcast. We are still on the search for Bunniichii's next talent. Welcome to round 3 of the Bunniichii auditions. Before we start this week's episode, I'd like to take a quick break to go say a quick thank you to this week's sponsor, BFF Spirit Radio. Do you hear that sound? That's right, you don't. You may or may not have killed your best friend and now they can't snitch on the murder. I personally can't relate, but maybe you can. Since they're your best friend, you definitely started to miss talking to them. When you need to spill those beans, what else to use but BFF Spirit Radio? Cross your fingers that it works and listen to the spirit of your friend manipulate the radio waves to guilt trip you to hell and back. BFF Spirit Radio, the backbone of every killer friendship. Now back to the Bunniichii auditions! Thank you again to BFF Spirit Radio. Coming in next, there is a new face for Bunniichii auditions. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but your face does look somewhat familiar. Have we met before?
Oh, come now, Maggie. We both know it's time for you to face the truth of your sins.
What do you mean?
Maggie, you know who I am. Don't be silly.
No, it can't be. I killed you off.
Oh, no. You can't kill me in a meaningful way.
Okay. Well, even if you might be or may not be Julie, there's only one way that I can tell if it's really you. How did we meet?
Honestly, my favorite unhinged story between the two of us. Real talk.
It's already
back in the day.
You already seem like Julie.
I was back in the day. I was really into Love Live. It was, at the height of, I think, what was it, like Aqua was going on. So it's the height of Aqua. The card gotcha game is really big, and I'm super into it. And I do what every baby cosplayer does who is into Love Live. Who has access to the internet. I make the terrible decision to join a Love Live cosplay dance cover group. I think we were called like Blossom Effect or something like that. Blossom Project. Blossom Effect would have been better. Let's be real with ourselves.
True.
And in joining Blossom, I met a person we have mentioned in the past by the name Miku. And Miku is a complicated individual. They're not a bad person. They just have a lot of issues. And if Miku happens to be listening to this and recognizes who we're talking about, know that I wish you the best in life, and I hope you're well. I genuinely hope you're doing good. And thank you for introducing me to my best friend. Because
Julie, the laugh never makes it sound like we're genuine.
Look, I have a big problem with not sounding earnest, and I blame my eternally sarcastic voice.
Don't worry, I'll be sure to edit you to sound more and more like NPR. You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Anytime.
I appreciate it. So I dropped out of Blossom Project.
And I was the filler.
Pretty early on because... yeah, and you ended up filling my space. I dropped out pretty early on because, life got in the way, but I stayed in contact with Miku. And at one point in time, I think it's at the start of the pandemic, something like that. And so 2020. And Miku calls me while I'm doing stuff. And they ask, they essentially do the guilt trippy thing of, I'm not in a good space right now. I could really use a friend. I'm so alone. And as someone who has had people in their lives kill themselves, those words are a trigger for me. And so I go, okay, what can I do to help? And they say, can you come over? And I say, sure, because at the time, they only lived like 20 minutes from my house. And they say, cool, here's my address. And it's not where they lived.
No. Yep.
They moved. But I had already committed to the bit at this point. I had already told them I would be over. So I say, okay, I'll come over. And so I put gas in my car and I call Michael, my now husband. I say, hey, babe, I'm not going to be home for a few hours. And he says, huh? And I say, don't worry about it. And he says, okay. And so I drive. And I drive and I drive. And in the middle of this drive, I'm like, should I stop? I could just go home. Like, my partner's waiting for me. I have a puppy.
A little baby.
Like, I could go home. But no, I've already come this far. I gotta commit to
There's something in
like,
you.
Like, Miku wanted me to come
It's
over.
It's the red string of fate.
We're feeling bad and like wanted to like do cosplay stuff to make them feel better. And I was already on my way. And I get there. And remember, they told me that they wanted me over because they were sad and lonely and they were making it sound like they're a danger to themselves.
Of course,
and I show up
supportive.
And I knock on the door and the door opens and Miku is there. And two things register in my mind at the exact same time. One, there are literal bags of trash everywhere in this small apartment. I need you to imagine just opening a door, you see your friend, and it's a small apartment that has like a living room and kitchen and tiny dining area,
the equivalent
all
of
connected.
a
And
like
it
a
is
dorm
furnished.
room. Baby's first dorm room.
Yeah. Like the bedroom was its own separate area. But it's furnished with like a couch and the bare minimum to have a TV, like maybe a dining table that I think Trash was sitting on, and like just literal trash bags everywhere. And they're not all garbage because most of them are filled with cosplay. That's the first thing I noticed. Simultaneously, I noticed there's another fucking person
Not
in
just
this building.
any person.
A goddamn stranger. And I don't like to be surprised with strangers. Like if I'm going to show up somewhere and I think it's one other person, I want one other person to be there. And so I walk in and the stranger on the couch turns around and they look at me like, what the fuck? And I look at them like, what the hell?
The feelings were reciprocated.
And that stranger
Who was it? It was me!
was you.
Me!
Maggie.
Me, Dio.
So Maggie, how did you end up at Miku's place?
Oh, goodness. So I met Miku through becoming what I've now learned was the shoo-in for Julie leaving Blossom Project. And after, which is even funnier, because after you left, they changed the name of the group. But they were still having auditions.
Do you remember the name?
Oh. It was like something rainbow. Like they're kind of leaning into the fact that Nijigasaki had just started out.
Oh, right. It was when people were starting to get into Nijigasaki.
Yeah, because
Miku was a big fan of... Her name's not Sakuna. What's her name?
Yeah.
The girl with the black hair.
Was it the one with black hair? Karin? Or...
We'll Google
Well, I know
later.
there's
It's
Karin,
fine.
but also Rina.
The long black hair.
In Nijigasaki.
I'm Googling Nijigasaki characters right now. Give me a second. I've got this.
This is what? First year's... second year's...
Yeah, long black hair.
Ah, okay. See, whenever I saw...
Miku was obsessed with Setsuna and Rina.
Whenever I saw Setsuna, I always saw her having more like gray hair, so that's what, like a dark gray. So that's why anyone's like black.
Okay,
like,
but Karin's hair is purple, so shut the hell up.
I stay true to weird colors.
No. You're right, because I remember Nijigasaki coming out officially and then being like, all right, everyone, choose your character. And I'm like, I guess Kanata.
Yeah.
Because she's cute. We don't really know anything,
She's just
guys.
sleepy.
And then everyone was fighting over Setsuna. It's fine. Anyway, you're right. Please continue. It was Blossom Project.
Yeah, it was Blossom Project, then slightly changed because of Nijigasaki. So all the Texas and just all idol dance cover groups were kind of switching their focus to doing more Nijigasaki dance covers, and because it was new and fresh, and that's what the trend was. And this was peak COVID, so I was trying to get more into the Love Live dancing because I still wanted to pursue performing, at least to some extent. And this is probably when I was also,
And
it's a good way to make friends. I still didn't have too many friends at the time. So I was like, you know what, internet friends, cool, cosplay friends, let's go. Just getting back into cosplay as a hobby after the whole webhead debacle. So I was putting myself out there, doing my due diligence to not become a shut-in and a sad member of society that liked idols. I don't want to be like them. I'm me. Trash.
No.
So I applied. I got accepted. Me, very cool, very exciting. Kind of got... Looking back on it now, it was already a very strange dynamic that they were like, yeah, come on in and be part of this. Since what I didn't know was that one of the members of this dance cover group was in middle school, which I think Julie and I... Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
So, that's right. We're going to derail. Julie's back, baby. We derail as much as we want. Hey! I don't have to be an interviewer anymore. Which, Julie, I think you should be.
Let's go!
I did a good job for the most part.
I know you did. I felt it. What is it in Yu-Gi-Oh? The Shadow Realm. I felt it in the Shadow Realm.
I'm so glad. Did you see the Blue Eyes White Dragon while you were there?
Yeah, he was hanging out with Kaiba.
Iconic.
It was great. That's the extent of my Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge.
Me too.
Okay, so middle schooler?
Most, what's it called? Like, idol dance cover.
Because weren't you like 24 at the time?
Wait.
Because that was 2020.
One second, I'm doing math. 2013, I was 18. How old am I now? 29.
How old are you
29.
Now? Okay. So you were 4 years ago.
25.
25, yeah!
I was using my fingers. Thanks.
I'm so proud of you.
So, the thing was, with that...
So you're a 25-year-old grown-ass woman.
So the thing with that audition form is I had solely been looking for audition applications where it was 18 and up. Because I was an adult. I still am an adult. But like...
A grown-ass woman.
And I got accepted. Yay, good job me, I guess. But there was like a kid that was like in middle school, about to start high school. And...
So like 14.
Yeah. That person actually went to a convention that I guested at solely to see me, which was weird. Very weird to experience that. Not bad. Not a bad weird, but it was just like you remembered me enough and thought highly of me enough through what limited interactions that we had that you came solely to see me. You made fan art for me and to support me. That was a very nice thing, but it did feel a bit strange. A bit skinwalker, some might say. But yeah, so that was a weird time solely because I think for me, since I'd finally stepped out and tried to interact with people who enjoyed idols just like I did, because this was probably peak Aqua for Maggie. Obsession. Peak obsession. That was what got me through COVID. So I was trying to create relationships with people who like the same stuff as me, and that realization where, oh shit, dude, like most of these are kids. I thought, wait, the Japanese audience and the Western audience is totally different. Oh no. I was hoping I'd get at least some other young 20-somethings where we can be socially awkward together. So yeah, that did not last long. But while I was part of that, I was getting on more with Miku, and I got a similar message at one point where they're like, hey, so I have this somewhat abusive relationship with my parents and I'm trying to get out of the household. I'm trying to move. I don't have a car. No one's around that can help me. Would you be able to come up and help me get my stuff and go to the place that I'm going to stay at for a bit?
And for the record, how far away are you from Miku
So
at
for
this
the
point?
record,
Physically.
For the record, from a driving distance, I was about 4.5-hour drive away. And I was like...
So you were going to drive 4.5 hours there. And then how much further did you need to go after that?
Because just like Julie, I also have a soft spot for wanting to help people out there in unsafe situations that are experiencing difficult just life events. Because I've also had experiences where it's like, oh, that's horrible. Let's try and do our best to put positive into the world and be supportive of others. So what was it? They were asking that I come up on a Friday, which I was an adult, working adult. I still am a working adult. But because it was a Friday, that meant I was working, and I typically got off at like 5. No, 4. It was usually 4:30. So I was like, I can get there late in the evening. I'll try my best. And they're like, yeah, please just come to this address, and the new place where I'm going to be staying is like it's in the same city. It's about 20 minutes away from where I'm currently staying. It's like, okay, cool. That's fine. I can do that. I actually got off work early just so I can make sure I got there without it being too dark. It was like early evening. It was still like light out when I finally got to the house, which turned out it was their parents' house. Now I was already beat. Like my phone was almost dead because I was using Google Maps the whole time, and the charging port in my car didn't work. So my phone was about to eat dust. I go in, I meet their parents, which is a weird situation because they didn't know who I was. I didn't know that the parents were going to be there.
Also, hold on. Miku's like 18 at this point.
18 or 19, I think. Like,
just
fresh out of high school.
Just imagine being a parent and this 25-year-old woman shows up.
Oh, that's
say,
true. Oh, wait.
Like, hi.
Because what is it? Because I was...
Go on.
Because I can make it sound worse because it was worse. Because at the time I was in a serious relationship where I was engaged. So I had an engagement ring on. And that makes it look 10 times worse. Absolutely 10 times worse.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a baby face, so I can pass for like maybe early 20s, like probably like 22 at the youngest still. But I go in and I'm immediately like, oh shit, this is not good. I look like a pedophile. Horrible. I look like I'm groomer. Horrible. So I legit sat down at like this nice, ritzy, upper middle class house with these parents, and I was just talking to them, and it was just, they're like, tells us that you're helping them move out. And I was just like, yeah, so I have a bit of a different story that I was told, but yeah, I'm helping them move to somewhere. And they're like, so how do you know them? I was like, oh, well, we met online because we both have similar hobbies, yada, yada, yada. Told them my major, that, I'm all this. I just came up to help out someone that seemed like they were in need of some support. I'm like, okay. So I came off the best as I could, though still bad situation all around. And I'm still mad that I looked like a bad person because of that.
He will forever be a
I
creep
know,
in
and
their
that
eyes.
pains me. I am not a creep, I swear.
But are you a
Yes.
weirdo?
Oh, I absolutely. I'm a creep. I'm a rebel.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. We're back, baby.
So
you
I
show
show
up,
up.
and
I even have to go to
Miku's
Miku's
parents
Yeah,
are
I
horrified.
even go to Miku's room because Miku apparently hadn't packed yet. Which what?
So can you describe to the audience what Miku's room looked like? Because I had been to Miku's room at their parents' place. I know what it looked like.
If you or a loved one have ever seen TLC's Hoarders, imagine that, but in a very small area, maybe the size of a bedroom.
And it's 90% cosplay.
Hey, don't take my bit from me. It's Hoarders Anime Edition. What is a cosplayer? That. The ones that we don't talk about. I cannot fix you.
It's wild.
Horrible.
Like, you know how we've talked in the past about people who, like, keep buying costumes and costumes and costumes, and they wear it once, then never again?
Yeah.
Miku.
Yeah, it was literally that. Horrible. And apparently, since they hadn't even packed anything, they literally had trash bags stuffing things in there. It's just like, is this all you are going to need? Because again, I was solidly in the camp mindset of, so some type of situation, not great, maybe. Like, if this is the only chance they have to move out, shouldn't you have more stuff? And like, no, I'm just taking this for now. It's like, what? Fine. I am tired because I've been, this was like probably 8:30, 9 at that point. And I had been up since 5 a.m. because a working adult. My phone was about to die. Get car packed. I'm like, okay, do you have like the address? Where are we going? Them immediately. We're going here. I don't have the address. Can you pull it up? I think so. And then it led to the most horror video game scene ever, where it is 10 p.m., 2 phones that are dead.
Because you haven't made it clear yet. It was not 20 minutes away.
Because it was an hour.
It was 2 hours away.
2 hours away. Because where was it? It was... it was where Anime Sekai was.
It was in Abilene.
Oh, right. Abilene. That's not where Anime Sekai was. That was in Arlington. I think. There's an A in there.
It was somewhere in central Texas, and it
was
sucked.
Not 20 minutes away.
And you have to go through these backwoods, and there's no Wi-Fi, and you were driving at night.
We didn't get there until like almost midnight. It was bad.
That's horrible.
Like, I think because...
And at this point, you can't stop.
I was too far in.
You can't just
I
stop.
couldn't even turn around. I had a person in there. I had their things. I still hadn't been able to charge my phone. So even if I did want to leave, I could not because I didn't know. I didn't know where to go.
How would you get back home?
I even was like, it was so late at night that even the gas stations in the area were closed. So I couldn't even get a portable car charger, which made it that much worse.
Oh my God. That is actual nightmare material.
And by the time we finally got there, it was like almost midnight. There was food at the place. However, it was going from one hoarder situation to another hoarder situation. And me still having some sense of self-respect, I was not going to be eating non-refrigerated cooked food that was stuck to a pot. So sorry.
I'm literally gonna vomit.
When we finally had
disgusting.
food, like when you, me, and Miku went out and got, what was it, lunch? Maybe?
Abuelos!
Yes. That was the first
lunch.
meal I had had since noon the day prior.
I'm glad I took you to Abuelos. They have big servings.
It was so great.
Wait, hold on. We aren't at Abuelos yet.
We're not at Abuelos.
So it's midnight. You can't eat the food.
I can't eat the food. Before we had stopped there, we had stopped by Walmart. I forget why. It's midnight, hadn't eaten any food.
Not to get a phone charger.
No, because I had a phone charger by this point. I just didn't have a phone car charger. Anyways, we get back. It's midnight 30. Miku decides to do some magical ceremony bullshit where I'm like, nah, I can't do this. Like,
I forgot about
I
this.
did not. Miku was just like, oh, so...
No. You have to talk about the ceremony.
So, Miku
What was
practicing Wiccan, which I highly doubt, only because I know Wiccans. I know people who... Oh, hello, Pip. You understood. I was stressed. Thank you. I know people who do that. And what they were doing was the copycat Pinterest mom recipe of Wiccan. And they were essentially creating a shrine for their spiritual deity. And were trying to summon them. That's right. They were doing a summoning spell. Complete with the circle, like the epitome of horror movie ghost, like seance, kind of. We are going to summon the spirit. A ring of candles. We had to be in the circle. Goodbye, Pip. We had to be in the circle of candles. There was tarot cards out. We had to put out salt. Me, as soon as salt's up, I am out. No, thank you. Oh my gosh. And then they're like trying to...
Who was their god? Who was their deity?
I don't even know. Like, it was not an actual deity. So it was Setsuna. Yes. But no, so now it's noon. It's midnight 30, almost 1 o'clock. Not only have I been going since 5 a.m. and been stuck in the middle of nowhere, been told in unknown, not clear directions how to get from one area to Abilene, 2 hours away, which is not a 20-minute drive. And now there's been a summoning spell and a curse being put down. Me, what have I done? This is the beginning of a horror movie. I cannot die. I don't want to die.
But like the beginning of a horror movie in a
the
bad
worst ways.
way.
This isn't a horror comedy. This is some exploitative bullshit where it's I'm gonna die and it's gonna be bad.
Okay.
So, and there wasn't a bed. I was fully ready to just like. This was a point where I saw all these trash bags.
So have you accepted your fate that you're gonna have to sleep here?
At this point, I was still solidly thinking of, should I just sleep in the car? I was fully ready to sleep in my car. And they're like, no, I'll get I should have.
You should have slept in the car.
But then they started pulling the manipulation tactic where it's just like, I don't feel comfortable in a new space. Dang it.
I think the worst part is I don't think they are intentionally manipulative.
They're not. Yeah.
I think it's subconscious.
Yeah.
I think they are subconsciously manipulative, and that's worse.
That's way worse. Because then you can't, like, it takes a lot for someone to become aware.
You can't call them out on it.
You can't say that, because then they're like, no, I'm not. And it's like, oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay, so they don't feel safe in a new location.
So, blow-up mattress it is. I sleep on a blow-up mattress. Oh my gosh, I hate my life at that point. I think I maybe slept 2 hours. I was just trying to think of like however fast I could be there. We were going to do the cosplay photos and then I was probably going to dip because that was the big bit. It was just like, I want to take pictures. This wasn't me. It was more of like, cool, I'll help someone move into their new place. They probably are already mostly moved. Then do some fun cosplay pics together. Haven't done that before. Then I'll go home. Finally wake up. I'm not eating. Still unrefrigerated rice-a-roni.
Did you grab a brush and put on a little makeup?
That wasn't yet. I don't... The mascara is running down my face at that point. Wake up. At that point, I am up. I am lucid. I am not possessed, thankfully. But Miku,
proud of you, babe.
Bare minimum, baby. I only get almost possessed, and only in Seattle. Only in Seattle.
So
I'm
you're
up.
up, you're
I'm lucid.
lucid.
Miku is showing me garbage bags with cosplays. Takes out the roommate's gerbil guinea pig.
I never saw that
I
thing
did not
again.
see that thing again either.
It was a hamster.
Okay.
It was a hamster. It was too small to be a guinea pig.
Don't know.
If it was a guinea pig,
yeah.
that would have gone in my purse and it would have gone home with me.
The guinea pig comes home. No. I have no idea. Yeah, so there was just a hamster running about. No hamster ball, just loose.
Nothing, just raw dog in it.
On that possessed carpet in the fake blood splattered bathroom.
I like that the carpet is possessed.
The carpet is possessed.
Is that what that was in there?
Yeah, because remember...
I thought it was hair dye.
No, man, it was so much worse.
Because no one told me about the ritual.
No. The fake blood wasn't part of the ritual. The fake blood was because they were trying to start in, what was it? Was it in OnlyFans? No, because OnlyFans wasn't a thing yet. They were trying to do a 18 and up Patreon thing where they would do cosplay and then they would do sexy versions of the cosplay. And so they were doing one of those really stupid horror. It's not actually horror anime. It's just being edgy to be edgy. And they were doing a whole shoot in like the bathtub. It was weird, dude.
I'm gonna vomit in my own mouth.
I've already experienced all this. I started dry heaving when I started thinking about all this again. So that was fake blood. It was not part of the ritual. Do not worry. Just my sanity. And so still at that point, I hadn't gotten into cosplay. I was just vibing.
At what point in time did they sit you down to make you watch AKB48 because they wanted to start an AKB48 group and they were trying to sell you on it?
20 minutes before you came in. At this point.
You were so uninterested.
I was so bored. See, there's something about Love Live. I'm not a fan of most idol anime. Okay, that's a lie. I can't get into Gundam. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you take this personally. I just can't do the robots. Evangelion gets a pass because it's mostly like wild brain things. And Shinji, get in the car and we can do memes. Get in the robot, Shinji. Get in the robot, Shinji. That one.
Okay. So you wake up, you're lucid, you're wondering why you're here, you're gonna power through putting on cosplay.
I have not put on cosplay. They're like,
and then you're gonna run home.
And so now somehow I've been wrangled into and forced into watching AKB48, which I've never had an interest in and I will never have an interest with. I am bored out of my mind. And I'm like, all right, after one episode... No, I think I was doing the 2-episode rule where I was like, okay, if after the second episode, like, I'll support you, but I'm not, okay.
You should have left.
I should have left at that point.
You should have already
I should
left.
have, but I was still with the solid, like...
Maggie was weak
Maggie
then.
is not weak anymore. But yeah, so it was, episode 2. And after that, I was like, sick, do this, cosplay, go home. I'm so ready. That's
Never
what I was
back.
powering through for. I was so ready to just go home. I think I had even thought in my head, I was like, you know what? Good enough. Good job, me. I'm going to see if I can stop by Mickey D's and find a Mickey D's where their ice cream machine is working and I'll get myself a hard-earned ice cream, a hard-earned cone.
Oh, absolutely. You would have deserved it.
And then I hear a door knock. That's crazy. We are at peak COVID. Miku and I had both made sure to, isolate and be masked up, and there wasn't going to be anyone that I haven't interacted with before or know before, right? That's weird. Maybe it's the roommate? Question mark? Open the door, and what?
Nope.
And open the door, and in steps not only a stranger, which I'm automatically pissed that there's someone I don't know there, but also unknowingly an angel. The guardian, my saving light, some might say. A red string of destiny. Julie. It was you! And now we can talk because we're experiencing the same thing at the same time.
I forget sometimes until we tell the story how quiet you were back then. You you weren't a meek person. I wouldn't say that. I would say you were just less
Oh,
assertive.
absolutely.
Um, I was born the most assertive bitch you'll ever meet. So I
I have
walk in,
slowly
I see this
obtained more
stranger.
Julie energy, and I think the world is worse for it.
Miku
Uh-huh.
introduces us, and I immediately say, "Why don't we all go out for lunch, my treat?"
And I was so.
And that's how we go to Abuelos.
But this is where the best part starts to kick in. I think I asked you when we.
Didn't you say you
Yeah,
liked
so
my
it was when we
dress?
parked. Either when we parked or when we were just about to leave. I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, so I really like your dress." I was thinking about it and I was like, "It looks like it was like she made it." And I like sewing, so
Because it was one of my like vintage
yeah, it was
dresses.
one of the Gertie's patterns. And you're like,
Yeah.
"Thanks, I made it." And I was like, "Oh, you sew?" Very stoked. And you're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Me too."
And we both immediately
And we
ignored.
did.
We
Okay, back to the past. We are in Abuelos.
we collectively ignored
we
Miku
we were
after that.
in that restaurant.
I felt a little bad.
I didn't feel bad. Because we were in that restaurant for what, maybe like an hour? And
Yeah.
Julie, it was like, for anyone who's listening at home and has never experienced this, I hope you do one day, but it was like you were meeting the love of your life. Your whole life had been leading.
It was like
your
true
whole
love.
life has been leading up to this moment, and as soon as you exchange words, all the rest of the world falls away. All you can see is each other, and you want to talk and learn about each other as much as you can, like it's the last day on earth, and you want to make up for all the lost time that you didn't know you had.
It's like if you're going to a wedding and you already have a date and you get there and you meet a stranger and like color suddenly hits for the first time
the
in your
giver.
life and you don't care that you already had a date.
It's all them.
About this stranger. Miku was our date and then we dated each other.
Yes. And I think we maybe talked to Miku
because
once or
the
twice.
biggest thing that hit me is I was 24.
Yeah.
I was 24
we're only
at the time.
1 year apart.
And I asked you how old you were because you look 22.
Exactly.
And you're like, "Oh, I'm 25." And I was like, "Thank
Yup.
God."
And that was the same thought.
Someone else
like,
my
yes.
age.
Yeah, someone my age. I hope we become friends.
So I fed
You
everyone.
did. Didn't I? I thought I helped pay.
You offered to pay,
There
and
we go,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
just so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
dumb.
That's what it was.
I was like, "Just take my card. It's easier and faster that way."
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't
remembered
care.
at least offering to pay.
I threw money at the
I
problem.
was solidly like,
You were like, "Oh, I can get mine." I'm like, "It's fine."
yeah, no. I remember that part because I was just like, in my head, I did not want to be associated with Miku. And I wanted this cool new person that I'm like, I want to become friends with you. I wanted this cool new person, Julie, to know that I am an adult and I can pay for my things. Please accept me. I was holding my boombox.
Please don't feel the need to pay for me like a child like you do.
I was
Miku.
holding a boombox high above my head with the Notice Me. With a love song playing out.
Regretfully, we did have to go back
Yep.
to Miku's place.
And we pulled.
And that's when I got introduced to the hamster. And I just kind of stared and then kept going. I had no reaction. There was no reaction when a hamster got pulled out of a trash bag.
Can't react at that point. This whole thing sounds so scripted, which is the worst part. It's like, no, I swear. I swear this was us. I swear this happened.
I had nothing.
No, it was so bad.
And we put on costumes. I did, what is it, the 9 goddesses, Nozomi, 9 lucky goddesses. Yeah. And then you were Maki. And you are a cute Maki. You should do Maki sometime. You're cute as Maki.
I could do the BB one.
Because you were going to do Cutie Panther.
I should do...
You were going to do Cutie like
Cutie
the
Panther,
BB group because
watashi.
Miku was, oh, what's her name?
Nico.
Nico.
The meme
Miku
one.
was
The
Nico.
meme one.
And
Um,
they knew this garden
yeah.
with sculptures, quote unquote garden with sculptures that was next to a school building. And the one thing that sticks out to me now,
And that actually was where Anime Sekai was.
That's
Yeah, I
really
know.
fun.
When I went, I was having flashbacks. Yeah, it was
no.
wild time. Go Anime Sekai.
I am a person who has no shame. I don't get embarrassed easily at all. The concept of being out in public in cosplay, like if I have a goal and I'm gonna go, I'm not just gonna wear cosplay just because
Yeah,
that's
no,
cringe.
we're not that.
I believe that cringe is dead, but this is
You
cringe.
can't own cringe.
I'm not just gonna fucking go to the mall as like fucking Naruto. That's weird.
That's hilarious.
But if I'm going to go to a shoot,
yeah, a shoot is different.
and if I am doing food before or after, that's fine. Getting there is fine. Being at the location, none of that bothers me because I have a goal in mind, right? It's an event. And so wearing a costume in public does not faze me. People staring at me does not faze me. I am unbothered. I did not know this at the time until you told me later. Maggie was not that person.
Maggie before, because this was Maggie solidly after Webhead, and because this was
you were getting back into this
big regression where I hadn't been in front of like cameras at all, no photos really, definitely no cosplay. So just the thought of being and still having that, not like trauma, but just still that like experience where it's like people would find us when we were doing the vlog stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to be seen, but I also want to do this. But oh my gosh, I don't want people to, because I don't know if this was recorded previously, but there had also been a time in college where someone had taken videos and photos of me and posted them without consent. So there was a lot going on where I was just like heavily aware of everything and everyone, constantly like I don't know, like any of those like anime scenes where it's like the main character all in black just crouching and huddling, hands over their head, be like, don't look at me, and then like the evil eyes just everywhere. That was my constant thought. So, but I was like, there's a cool person I want to befriend. I can do this.
Did it help that I was so completely unbothered?
Yes. I thought you were the coolest cat on the block. You were the bee's knees. You still are. And I was like, I want to be like that.
You're like, holy shit, this person's a nerd and they don't care. And I'm like, what?
It was one of those where it's just like, wow, I wish I could be more like that. And that's, again, one of the reasons why I'm so glad that we have this friendship, because I truly think you've helped me to open up more.
I think we've made each other better.
Absolutely. We have made each other better. But then versus now, both of us, night and day. Especially me. I am too powerful now.
I think we've grown a lot.
Yeah.
I remember I had my little camera with me, my M50 Canon that I still have and still use. And I used it for like 40 minutes and then the battery died because I forgot. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then Miko was like, I have a phone. And I was like, oh, fuck me. It was really just bonding time with Maggie. That was what the photo shoot was, along with me trying to figure out what the fuck was happening. At one point, someone mentioned the words Tokyo Mew Mew, and Maggie and I went off on that.
I think I brought it up.
And I was like, okay, I need to find a way. Yeah, I was like, I need to find a way to be friends with this person.
I remember how
I know.
I remember how Tokyo
pictures.
Mew Mew brought up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because we were doing some Cutie Panther poses, like what BB did in the posing. And
yeah,
so
I remember
and I was
now.
doing the posing. I was like, oh, look, it's just like Ichigo for Tokyo Mew Mew. And you're like, Tokyo Mew Mew? I was like, oh, Tokyo Mew Mew.
And I fucking honed in. Like, you triggered my trap card.
I think Tokyo Mew Mew never would have happened unless we did that. Because we would... Tokyo
Yeah.
Mew Mew wouldn't have come up
100%.
naturally in conversation. It had to be.
Correct. I don't just start conversations with, "Hey, have you seen Tokyo Mew Mew?"
Now I do.
I should.
No.
That should be a conversation
No more.
starter.
You don't need another Maggie. It's just me.
But I remember I'm like, I need to keep in contact with this person. I was like, I have the photos on my camera. Hey, cool chick, do you have an Instagram?
Yeah.
So like I can give these to you so you can post them. And that's how I got your Instagram. And I think after that we just started like DMing like
I think
regularly.
I might have sent you like a few posts. Maybe. No, I didn't. I
You sent me like a
maybe like a meme. Did I send a meme?
I think you sent me like a meme to break the ice because that first message is always so hard.
Yeah, I do send people memes.
And then I think we just started talking.
And it felt right.
I remember asking you where you lived and you told me and I was like, "Oh, have you ever been to San Japan?" And you were like, "I go
every
time."
year.
And I'm like, "This is my first year. Like, do you want to do something with me?"
And I was like, "Oh, that'd be so great. I can show you all. I can go with you. I know the place inside out. I know the good stuff. I know the bad. Let's do something." And that's where, and when we were like figuring out a lineup, this was right after Aqua's fantastic, what was it? It was Aqua's sixth live, fantastic departure.
I thought it was their fifth.
No, because their fifth.
Was it their sixth?
The fifth
okay.
live.
You know better than me.
Was Sparkling. Next Sparkling because of the movie.
Right.
It was going to be their sixth live, but because of COVID, they couldn't do the dome tour. So it was Aqua's fantastic departure tour.
Your fantastic departure, Mari, was so
Thank
fucking
you.
good.
So I was solidly doing that.
But no, we...
And I knew I was already going to do that.
And I wasn't going to because I had other plans.
I mean, I had been like fever dream making this the first of many stage recreations.
Yeah.
I will forever be known as, by no one other than me, as the first Fantastic Departure cosplayer because I did it stage accurate as soon as it streamed. That's right. I paid $60 to watch it on my computer. And then I took screenshots. I found everything. Anyways,
okay,
off topic.
Off topic. You're off topic.
Off topic.
You already knew you were going to do a fantastic departure,
Yeah.
Mari, but you had room for
two more.
costume.
I had room for two more. Excuse you. We were still on our Love Live train.
Okay, well, one that you were going to share, and then we decided we were going to share both.
So the second one, this Saturday, because we both decided that Saturday was going to be the big day, because that's what Saturday is at conventions if you craft something. Your big show day. That we should do Tokyo Mew Mew New, because the Tokyo Mew Mew...
Because it hadn't fucking come out
yet. But there was...
All we had were promo images.
For not the anime, but for the manga. Because it was a follow-up manga to the series. And what I did, because we didn't have scans at that point, I bought the manga from Japan, had it sent. It is in Japanese. I still cannot read it. But I have it. And I remember like taking pictures on my phone to send to you. So we had it in our chat. So we had access to it. And so we were the first. We had Tokyo Mew Mew, the new designs, before anyone did. And it was the most iconic thing I think we've ever done.
I know we've said it before to each other, but that is what solidified our friendship. That is what solidified our friendship. Because you fucking pulled through.
I pulled through, baby. And then we both decided to do aquarium on Sunday. I told you, like, I might have been doing stuff on the drive down to San Antonio for the costumes.
Yeah, you were putting in your fucking zipper. You texted me that and gave me an aneurysm.
I pulled through.
You pulled through. And I think the bonus story to go off of this is San Japan is like what solidified our friendship, but it's also where we met Momo and Mary.
Because we decided...
I will never forget the first time I saw Momo.
Was so good. So I will do a quick...
I will never
Before we say how we saw Momo, I'll real quick say, because I did touch it on it.
The love of my life.
Hey.
Second
I'll take
love
it.
of my life.
Because We touched upon this in my interview with Mary and Momo. What happened was Julie and I had been talking, and we're like, we would love to have photos of this. I'd still never, I was trying to become more comfortable in front of the camera, and because I'd spent so much time, especially on Mari, and also Tokyo Mew Mew, I actively wanted to get nice photos. But it was...
We spent a lot of time on
Tokyo Mew Mew was a lot.
And it was like a decent amount of money, too.
Oh, yeah. It was probably...
Like, that pushed us.
That was probably like 400.
Yeah, like that was a big
That was the
build.
first big build. I think for either of us. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I was even using... Like, we were using Swarovski, like, crystals on each of the triangles, too. Yep. We went, go harder, go home.
We did the whole petticoat, like homemade petticoats and the bubble skirt.
I made the tails. We did
it
anyway. Yeah. So it was already pretty.
So you wanted photos.
So it was pretty close to the convention at this point, and most photographers were all booked. But I also didn't know how to find photographers that were going to San Japan. So I went on Google, which sounds like the most boomer thing to do. I went into the Google search bar and put cosplay photographer San Japan. The first one that came up.
Well, that just means Momo's SEO is on point.
I went, and the first result that came up was Wild Momo Photography. Me, immediate, boom, I'm gonna see what's going on. The photos looked fantastic. They looked really cool. I think I may have shown you I might have sent like a link or like some of her stuff.
You sent me 2 of her photos, and I remember one of them was a Naruto character who I really liked, and I really enjoyed the editing on that photo, and I was like, oh, this is it, Chief.
And so I emailed.
So you booked her for all 3 days.
So I emailed, and I was like, I did not know how etiquette was, so I was just like, I hope this doesn't come off as strange. However, I'd like to book a session, one session Friday, one session Saturday, and one session on Sunday. And Momo said, yes,
in retrospect, now that I have worked with other photographers at cons too, like, what a big fucking, like, leap of faith it is to book an unknown photographer
all 3 days.
All 3 days. There are some photographers that we have worked with, and if we had to work with them for all 3 days, we would have killed ourselves.
Well, we did work with one 2 days. To be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true, but it wasn't all 3.
But yeah, that's the most...
But no, like, in retrospect, now that I've done this is the most unhinged thing you've done. Just, hello, person I've never worked with, who I randomly Googled, I'm going to book you for all 3 days for a large sum of money.
Again,
to do 2 duo costumes with a person I barely know, who I am not meeting up with before this. I don't even know if she'll be done with her costumes.
I had faith. Again, this is the epitome of red string of destiny. This was fate bringing all of us together. My crew, some might say straw hat crew. Is that what they would say? I am the pirate captain.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I am the pirate captain of the Going Merry, of the
There we go. Nope, you got it. Going Merry.
This is my crew. We are the Straw Hats. I'm going to be the Pirate King. Yay.
You're going to be the cosplay king. Watch out, Kabu cosplay. We're coming for you.
Woo.
Cow butt crunchies, you're next.
We do love you, though. But you better watch out.
Oh, God, I love you so much.
But you better watch out. We're coming. With our pirate ship.
So you email Momo.
Get everything booked.
Our friendship. So you email Momo.
Yeah.
Get
do
everything
all that.
booked.
Get the reference.
She, on her side, is sobbing.
So happy. Like, so excited. I still don't understand how that she did not find it strange.
Yeah. I could just imagine Momo, like, aggressively turning to Chris and being like, They're booking me all 3
Oh
days.
yeah, absolutely. Like next to each other in the computer area. They did
Like
it.
you could picture her face.
I know her face. I know the exact face, and it's great.
It's so good.
Like they did a little happy jump
And
dance.
so
whatever.
San Japan rolls around.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly you telling me later that you were telling your partner at the time that like, oh yeah, it's just like Julie and Michael and like
Every
we're just
once in
gonna
a
hang
while.
out with them for
A
like
little
a little
bit.
bit, maybe maybe like a few hours every day, just a little bit. Glued at the fucking hip.
There was no other people. There was no other time. It was only Julie. Oh,
Glued at the hip.
It was great. 12 out of 10.
It was. So, and then it was a fantastic departure shoot, and I was hanging out with you, and I wasn't. I think I wasn't in costume anymore because my costume was uncomfy. And
no, because you had no, you still had the
was.
cosplay on.
That weird guy.
You still had your cosplay on because that weird guy. Yeah,
you're right.
I did not forget the weird guy.
Who? I don't even remember who I was.
You were one of the
anyway,
the My Hero.
This
You were
isn't
the
about
My
me.
Hero Academia, the one with the bunny.
Was I still in the bunny?
You were in the white one. The white. No, it wasn't. No, it was the one with the blue. It was the blue.
No.
It was the blue. Yeah, that
Nezure.
one.
I think I was still in
Because you were telling me about block patterning with spandex.
I was...
Or like with 4-way stretch.
Oh, that sucked so much. I still have that.
Yeah,
it's a work of art.
Never get rid of that.
I remember being with you, and we were collectively like, I guess we should show up like
15 minutes,
like 10 minutes early. Yeah. So I remember us collectively being like, we should arrive early, like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, we arrived like 15 minutes early.
We arrived.
Like a norm.
And we're hanging out. Yeah, that is a normal amount
Common
of time.
etiquette.
My father always said if you're on time, you're late.
If you're early, you're on time.
There we go. So we show up, and the weird guy's there, and he takes some pictures of me that I never see again. It's fine. Who cares? I've seen him like 3 more times, and he never recognizes me. Yeah. And we're hanging out, and you're twirling your flag, and I turn around because I hear the door open, and there's Momo with, what is it, Cheetos?
Yeah, Momo was sitting on the ground in the grotto area.
It was like a bag of Cheetos.
Mary was vibing. I think Mary was walking about real fast. Momo was sitting next to her backpack with a bag of crunchy Cheetos, and
that was
with the red flower clip in her hair. We come and immediately jumps up because we're like, "Are you Momo?" I'm here.
Momo was panicked.
Yes.
Panicked that we were there.
I was like, "Are we not supposed to be here?"
Because she was there on time, like a regular amount of time.
Yeah, because we were there early.
She's like, "No, I'm just not used to cosplayers showing up on time."
And I think I was just like, "Oh, is it okay that we're here?" I think I was solidly doing that. Still at that point.
You were very concerned.
Yeah, I was like, again, never done professional photos at that point. And I was just like, I don't know the etiquette. What do I do? Julie looks very confident. I will follow Julie's lead.
I didn't know what was going on. I had my dad energy out. My big dad energy. I remember the moment of panic in Momo's eyes. It was so good. And I just got to hang out and chat with Mary. And while I was chatting with Mary, I had the realization that Mary is to Momo what Maggie is to me. And this is going to be perfect. And it was. Because we were all still friends 4 years later. 4 years.
That's a lot of years.
I went to her wedding.
With you. We're better than all you guys because we got invited to their wedding. And it was sick as hell. It was an awesome wedding.
That was a dope wedding. We both
almost cried. I still think about that wedding.
God, yeah. Chris's vows had me. It was like laughing, I had emotional whiplash from laughing and crying.
The heart. Oh, Chris, you did a great job.
It kept going back and forth. He was going to kill us. But that's it. Maggie, that's how we met.
It was perfect. And I wouldn't change it for the world.
It was so unhinged. The whole apartment thing, the whole stranger during the middle of COVID thing. It was, but it really was a moment, it was lightning in a bottle. Like, what are the chances that we both meet this same person and both get roped in together, and I happen to wear a dress that I made that day? So we can like talk about sewing, and you think to make the Tokyo Mew Mew reference.
There's
like
so
all of
many,
these little things.
There's so many things where it's just like, if one thing didn't happen, the other. I don't chalk a lot of things up to fate or to destiny. But I think no matter what decisions I've made in life, if all the way when I was young, leading up to before we met, no matter what, there would have been a point in time where we would both interact with Miku and we would meet. And all of those events would happen in that sequence. There is no world in where there isn't a Maggie and Julie.
There's always a man and there's always a lighthouse.
I'm the lighthouse. I go, she.
You are shiny.
Shiny. No, wait. Oh, it's been a while since I done. Let me get a sip of water and see if I can do shiny better.
I believe in you.
It's been so long since I've done the Mari voice.
You got
shiny.
This.
I could have done better, but it's still there, hidden somewhere.
We don't need that.
We've evolved.
We've
evolved at this point. Now I do.
There is no more love.
Only One Piece.
I'm in my high fantasy video game era.
I'm in my horror fantasy movie era once again. I'm solidly in the grip.
I think you just kind of live there.
Yeah. I'm solidly in the grip of Rick O'Connell and Persona.
Rick O'Connell.
I'm so excited for Rick O'Connell and Evie. Oh, it's gonna be.
That's gonna be something wild.
But yeah,
that's the story of how we met. And I wouldn't have it any other way because now I got my best friend.
You know what? Maybe you are, Julie.
I think
Julie, you're back in Bunniichii. Congratulations. Bunniichii auditions are over, everybody. Let's wrap it up. Go home. Thanks, BFF Spirit Radio. We don't need that sponsor anymore, though.
Just slam dunks it on the ground, burns the money.
Hey, I already put that set in. We got the money now.
Let's go, baby! We can buy fabric for our next sewing project.
The thing about BFF Spirit Radio is that they only pay in Ghost Coin.
No! That's okay. I'll use it when I'm dead.
No, it's okay. We'll find another sponsor for next time. All right.
All right.
So since we're back.
All right. I'm going to go pet my dog.
Since we're back. We are back now.
Yeah.
I was thinking let's keep riding this wave for the next time that we talk and maybe talk about guesting.
Like what it entails and what our experiences with it have been.
Because there's been times where
we can talk about Seattle.
Ride the friendship wave.